Hello guys, this is Todd, and I just wanted to tell you about a book that I recently read called Necessary Endings by Dr. Henry Cloud. Cloud is in the white fluffy stuff that's in the sky. And I just wanted to tell you kind of briefly about what a great book this is. I've been reading a lot of business books lately because I'm interested in starting my own businesses and doing projects with people that kind of get me excited to make things happen and change the world and, just like really ambitious stuff. So I've been reading a lot of entrepreneurial kind of books that kind of, motivate you and encourage you to shoot for the stars, so to speak, and, really kind of get off the ground and do stuff. Anyway, this book, Necessary Endings, I think has been really motivational for me because it just has a very different outlook than some of the other business books I've read. The basic premise of the book is that basically everything has a season, a beginning and an end, and the more you kind of learn to understand this process of life and the more you learn to sort of cope with this reality, the more you'll feel empowered to accept the inevitable and to just work with it, to sort of embrace the cycles of life and to surrender yourself to it. I really like how the author sort of gives various examples of certain scenarios where you might need to make an ending of sorts, where you might need to end either a relationship or a lousy job or just a lousy living arrangement. The author, Dr. Henry Cloud, talks about signs that you see or hear or that you kind of take in that help you realize when it's time to end something. And sometimes those endings aren't that easy to make. Dr. Henry Cloud talks about how there are some relationships that, you are so close to or that you're so attached with that making that necessary ending can sometimes be very painful, whether it's like with a spouse or sometimes even your own parents. Sometimes you have to make those necessary endings so that you can move forward with your life and evolve and develop into a better person and someone with a more kind of uplifted and abundant spirit, I guess you might say. So Dr. Henry Cloud does acknowledge that it is not easy all the time to basically kill some of your relationships, but that sometimes it is necessary to move forward, that sometimes you need to kill something so that you can be reborn again. And that's like a really powerful statement to me because it's not always evident that, you have to die to be reborn. It's kind of a weird idea, a lot of us want to cling to what we have because we're afraid of what might happen after that. We might lose something that we cherish a lot of or that we think we won't ever get again. But I think there's something really hopeful about the idea of, ending something so that you can open your heart and your mind to whatever is in the future. And that's hard for us to do. But I think Dr. Henry Cloud makes a very important case for doing that. He makes a very strong case. Another aspect that I liked about this book is that Dr. Henry Cloud creates a typology. There are 3 types of people. There are wise people, foolish people is the second typology, or the second category. And then the third is evil people. Now, the wise people are those who accept criticism. They take people's feedback and they learn from it and then they grow. So it's like if you're telling your spouse, oh, well, I really don't like the way you don't listen to me or something. The wise person will basically take that feedback and try to work with it so that they can become a better person. They actually listen to other people. That's a wise person. And then a foolish person is someone who basically blames other people for whatever kind of frustrations that they have. So if it's their job, they blame their employer, or they blame the lousy work environment, or they talk about this such and such person who is never on time or doesn't do the work that they're supposed to. So the foolish person basically blames other people without looking internally at themselves and what they might be doing to contribute to the lousy situation, because really you can't control other people at all. You can only control yourself, and you can only control what is in your control, basically. So if you're trying to force some outside, I guess, identity or some outside influence to do something that you want them to do or want it to do, but you're powerless to do something about it, then you're foolish for, complaining and trying to make whatever source of frustration it is that you have do something. So the foolish person is basically an outward blamer and is helpless to basically control their own destiny and their fate. They don't really, they're passive, and they don't really take initiative. Finally, the evil person is someone who is basically out for themselves and out to hurt you. So these are like really extreme cases, like maybe, someone who's violent, like a violent husband, or someone who's just like, a sociopath at work and wants to like harm you and make you look bad and try to get you fired or something. So the evil person is completely on the other side of the spectrum of the foolish and the wise person. They're just the person that wants to harm you. So it's in your best interest to avoid this person, or to try to find a way to control the evilness of this person. I mean, these categories or types are really kind of, general and broad, and, they're kind of, they're kind of extreme in some ways, but I also think they're sort of helpful, because sometimes they give you a very quick way of identifying what a person is like and where they fit in your kind of world or in your life. So, I wouldn't go around like, typing people as wise, foolish, or evil, but I think Dr. Henry Cloud's point is that, certain people can be put into these categories, and it's important to realize that these types of people exist and that you have some choices to make. Now, in terms of, necessary endings, the only real relationship you can have is with a wise person, because the wise person will listen to you, they'll take your feedback, and they'll work with you, they'll be in a relationship with you. Whereas the foolish person won't listen to you, and the evil person definitely won't listen to you at all. So, the necessary endings that you have to make are with the foolish person and the evil person. Although Mr. Cloud does say that you can maybe stick with the foolish person. He kind of hints at that possibility, but there has to be some hope. And that's kind of the take-home message of this book. It's that if you have no reason to hope that things are going to get better in the future, then you definitely need to make a necessary ending. So if you feel like, there's no evidence whatsoever that a person has tried to change, or that, they've said something, they made some promises that they haven't kept, or that you're looking into the future and, you see that this person or that this organization is not going to change for you, or that it will not get better and that you will not change and become a better person as a result, then you need to make a necessary ending. So these are just kind of a brief guidelines on, how to move forward in your life, which I think have been helpful for me, and I think they're helpful for other people to know about as well. So this book has been really kind of resourceful. I'm trying to think. There was one other aspect of this book that I really liked, and I'm kind of drawing a blank on it. But if it comes to me again, I'll definitely make another kind of podcast and kind of talk more about this. But the basic gist of this book is that you do need to make necessary endings so that you can grow and develop. And you just need to surround yourself with people who are helping you do that. And that is a really good message to have, I think. It's a really good mindset to have, just a kind of, keeping yourself growing and keeping yourself nurtured in different areas of your life, and making sure that you're around people who are positioned in a way to do that and who are out for your best interests. So anyway, I'll be reviewing some other books as I continue reading. I'm always reading different books, so if any other really good books come along, I'll definitely let you all know. So anyway, thank you so much for listening to this, and I look forward to seeing you all in the real world. Thanks so much. Take care.